After the meeting, I always thought betrayal sounded like an explosion, loud, sudden, destroying everything at once. But in reality, it starts with silence. A change in the eyes, shorter messages, colder hugs. And one day, she doesn't say, "I'll be late." She says, "Don't wait up." That night was like that. 10:47 p.m. The food on the table was cold, her plate untouched. The TV was off. The only sound in the house was the ticking clock, steady, merciless. Then my phone buzzed. Got caught up at work. "Don't wait for me." I stared at the message for a long time before replying. Work? Or Daniel? A few seconds. Then the message showed read. No reply. I waited another hour. Then headlights swept across the window. I looked outside. She was getting out of a car. And she wasn't alone. The other door opened. A man leaned toward her, said something. She smiled, that smile I used to think was mine. Then the car backed away into the dark. When she walked in, she froze for half a second, seeing me still awake. "Hey," she said softly. "I didn't think you'd still be up." Her tone was casual, too casual. "I had to finish something at the office." I didn't answer, just looked at the untouched dinner on the table. Her perfume filled the room. The same one I smelled when she said she'd stopped wearing it because it was too strong. "Ethan," she said, forcing a laugh. "Why are you looking at me like that?" I finally spoke. "Because I already know." The silence that followed was heavy. Not the kind you sit through, but the kind that crushes you. Her hands trembled. "It was a mistake," she whispered. "Just once. It didn't mean anything." I looked at her, really looked. "Accidents don't happen twice," I said quietly. "And love doesn't leave fingerprints like that." She started crying. She reached for me, but I stepped back. "I'm not angry," I said. "Just done." And for the first time in years, I walked out of that house without turning back. Her voice followed me down the hallway, breaking apart into sobs. But the door closed, and I didn't open it again. The next morning, I woke up to sunlight instead of silence. No text messages. No explanations. Just peace. I hadn't forgiven her. Not yet, but I had finally forgiven myself. For holding on to someone who had already let go. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I heard her voice. People say time heals everything, but that's a lie. Time doesn't heal. It just teaches you how to live with the scar. I moved apartments. New city, new street, same insomnia. Some nights, I still wake up reaching for a body that isn't there. Other nights, I dream of her knocking on my door. Always just out of reach, always leaving before I answer. Until one evening, she really did. The knock was soft. 3 times. Familiar. The kind of knock that carried memories. When I opened the door, there she was. Emma. She looked smaller somehow, not weaker, just quieter. Her hair shorter, her eyes tired in a way that makeup couldn't hide. She smiled faintly. Isan. I didn't move. "What are you doing here?" "I was nearby," she said. "I thought maybe we could talk." The word talk hung between us like a ghost. I let her in. The air filled with her perfume, different this time. Lighter. Maybe intentional. She sat on the edge of the couch, tracing her fingers over her wrist nervously. "I heard you moved," she said. "I wasn't sure I'd find you. I didn't exactly leave a forwarding address." She nodded. I deserved that. For a long time, neither of us spoke. The silence wasn't hostile anymore, just fragile. Finally, she said it. "I ended things with Daniel. Months ago. I didn't ask for details. I didn't need to. I've been going to therapy," she continued, "trying to understand why I did what I did. I don't expect forgiveness, Ethan. I just needed you to know I'm sorry. Really sorry." Her voice cracked at the end. It wasn't a performance, not this time. I stood up, walked to the window, and stared at the rain tracing lines down the glass. "I used to think closure came from hearing someone apologize," I said. "But now I know. It comes from realizing you don't need the apology anymore." She looked at me, hurt flickering in her eyes. "So that's it. No, I said quietly. That's peace. For a moment, we just looked at each other. Two people who once shared everything, now separated by everything that had happened. When she stood to leave, she hesitated by the door. Do you ever miss me? She asked. I smiled sadly. Every day, I said. But missing you and wanting you back are two different things. She nodded. A tear slipped down her cheek. Then she whispered, I hope you find someone who never makes you doubt your worth again. And with that, she was gone. When the door closed this time, it didn't hurt. It just echoed. Because sometimes the end of love isn't destruction. It's acceptance. And that's how you finally let go.